Hi everyone, it's Barry here from Mitosu, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Thank you for joining me today and thank you for joining me for the Stamp Around UK video hop. This month's theme is black and gold and I'm going to be showing you how you can create this lovely card here with some heat embossing techniques with black and cardstock and gold embossing powder. So that's what I'm going to show you how to make today. I'm going to be using the lovely Happy Holidays stamp set right here, which is this one right here. Gorgeous stamp set, lovely, some lovely line art here for some beautiful colouring, but also as it lends itself just for some lovely line art for heat embossing as well. So that's what I'm going to be using. Obviously I'm going to be using a few techniques, so heat tool, some embossing powder as well to create this card, but it's a very, very simple card which you can quite easily replicate yourself with a few simple tools. Remember, this is a video hop, so please remember to hop along with everyone else at the end of this video. Links to them can be found down below in the description, so do please make sure you go ahead and see what everyone else has done in the Stamp Around UK design team. And also remember, links to our online shop and anything else can be found down below in the description as well. So if you like anything you see whilst you're hopping, then please do come back and purchase stuff from us via our online shop. And if you do shop with us, please remember to use the current host code as well, so we can send you a little thank you card and little gift. Anyway, I'm going to crack on with today's demonstration. I hope you enjoy. So sit back, relax, and let me show you how to make this lovely gold and black heat embossed card. Enjoy. Okay, so as well as the stamp set, the Happy Holidays stamp set, I will also be needing some Versamark to do my stamping and some gold embossing powder. I've got myself the Banners Pick a Punch. This is for the sentiment part later on, so really, really handy tool to have. As mentioned already, got myself a heat tool. And the cardstock, what you're going to need is you're going to need some basic white thick and some basic black, and we will cut that down to size in a moment. One last thing which you will need for some decoration is I have got myself the wonderful snowflakes right here, and I will add those on towards the sentiment towards the end just to give it another element and some more accents. Okay, so I'm going to cut my card base down to size. So I'm going to take my A4. Now I'm enjoying my square cards at the moment, so I'm going to take this to 5.5 inches, which is 14 centimeters, and I'm just going to cut that along the short edge, and then I'm going to then just cut my base here at 11. Okay, so that's 5.5 times 2 gives you 11, and then I will then score that in half at 5.5, sorry, which is then going to create my card base. All right, so I've got my card base right there. So remember, that was 5.5 by 11 scored in half at 5.5, and I'm going to take my black cardstock, and I want this to be a 5 by 5, so I'm just going to literally just take this at 5 inches and 5 to create my card base. Keep hold of this because we can use the offcut of this one here for your sentiment layer later on. So perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece right here and I'm going to get my holly stamp, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp this all over the card, and I'm just going to put a pattern over it. Now if you have got an embossing buddy, these are older tools now, but if you do have an embossing buddy, just protect your card, just take off any sticky fingerprint marks. Will just keep your card tidier. Okay, but if you haven't, use some talcum powder, use some cornstarch, just something which you can just run over the top of it just to take away any of your sticky fingers or anything which may be moist on it. I'm just going to now just ink this up, and I'm just going to go all over my cardstock in a random pattern. So you see, it's just going to give you a light mark, but it's a sticky ink, so when we pour the powder on it, that will then stick to that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that over the entire piece of paper right now. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've gone and done that over the whole card, so you may be able to just see a very faint watermark on there, and that's what I've gone and done. So it's now it's a sticky ink. So what I need to do is I just need to take myself a bit of scrap paper, take myself my embossing powder, and then I just want to then pour this on top of this. Just always have something underneath so you can catch your powder, and then just pour this on top. It just sticks to that it sticks to that ink now. I'm just going to then decant this back into my container, and then I'll do the opposite side. Okay, so there you have the whole sheet there. So that is ready to be heat embossed. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop that to one side carefully, and I am now going to just get my sentiment part ready, and then I'll just do all my heat embossing all in one. So with the offcut which I had from earlier on from cutting my card base, I'm just going to cut myself a piece here which is measuring 3/4 of an inch thick. And the reason I'm doing 3/4 of an inch thick is that there is the perfect size for the middle banner right here out of the Banners Pick a Punch. And I'm also going to then take myself a piece from the scraps which we had earlier on as well, from the basic white, and I'm just going to cut myself a piece here. I'm just going to cut it again 3/4 of an inch thick, which is going to be the perfect size for this, and these are exactly the same size. So same size in thickness and roughly the same size in length as well, but it doesn't matter about the length too much because we're going to cut that down to size. And what I can do is I'm going to then just pop the first one in and just take off the edge, and I can do that on both pieces whilst I've got it here. Okay, because what we're going to do is when we stick them together, we're going to then just offset them like so. So then we will then stamp our sentiment in here. So ink that down with your sticky ink, and then grab your powder once again, and then heat set this, and then actually just pour the powder on ready for heat setting, should I say. Okay, so now you've got your two pieces done. So you've got this one here ready to heat emboss, and you've got the sentiment ready to heat emboss. I'm just going to do the sentiment part first. So I'm going to grab my heat tool, and I'm going to heat set this, and then I'm going to move over onto the larger part. So what I'm going to do is just going to turn this on, get it nice and warm, and then it's going to then melt this. So it's just like magic. Okay, can you see that there? That has now changed from a matte to a shiny. Now see it's going to show up more on this one here as I do this. Isn't that amazing? Just love that technique. So the heat embossing on the black I think works really, really well. So that there is now ready for our actual card base. So I'm going to work with the sentiment again. So I'm just going to let that cool down a little bit. Work with the sentiment right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip off a little bit of an excess right here, and then I'm going to then just measure it up, and then I'm just going to then take off and use the punch the opposite side. Okay, now the easiest way of doing this is if you save the piece which you cut off or from the first part, or cut another bit off here if you want to, then you can then position this over the top like so, get your positioning correct where you want it to be, and then just take your snips and then just snip up along the edge right there. Gives you an idea of where it needs to be. Then when you pop that back into your punch, you will have a good placement like that. So that's the easiest way of measuring that one there. Save these offcuts, punch it out one side, and then position it, snip your cardstock down to size, and then punch it, and then you'll know you're going to be happy with where that is. Okay, so that's the easiest way of doing that one. And then with this one, what we want to do is pretty much the same thing. Position that over like so, and then we just then want to then just take it off like that, and then just punch that through, and then that goes over the top like so, and then we've got this nice little white edge, which is then just going to make that pop from that cardstock just a little bit more. It's just going to make it just stand out just a little bit. Fold and burnish your card base. Stick your embossed layer to your card base. And I think that just pops off of the white quite nicely as well. And this is where the wonderful snowflakes come into play. So grab these, and these are these lovely iridescent style snowflakes, already cut for you. So all you need to do is just pop them out. Grab your sentiment, and we will then just stick our sentiment together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this directly down to the centre of that snowflake. So if I do that on a bit of black so you can actually see this. Alright, so I'm just going to then just stick that down into the centre like that. So a little bit of glue in the middle right here. And then just stick that down centrally on that snowflake. We will use some dimensionals. Now I thought these are lovely. These are black dimensionals, black stamping dimensionals. So I figured I didn't want to use white because if it was going to, it's going to show up underneath. So I'm going to use these black ones. So you can see they're just black all over. You can go over on that. So I'm just going to attach it to the end of the snowflakes right here, just to give it a little, just to secure that in place just a little bit more. And then one in the centre. So if you're wondering with the black ones, you also get large and you get minis in here as well. So you get 2 large and you get 2 minis, and they are all black. So like just if you are working on black or dark cardstock, it just blends in a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is I will then stick that to the centre of my card, like so. And then just using a little bit of embellishments right here, I've got the wonderful gems. So these are clear with some gold. So that's these ones right here. So they're clear and gold. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a couple of these around like so. Like that. And I think that hits the theme of black and gold quite nicely. There we have it. What do you think? Do you think that hits the brief of black and gold for this month's Stamp Around UK video hop? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. So great. I hope you've enjoyed that. Please remember to hop along with everyone else. Again, links to that can all be found down below in the description, and links to our online shops and anything else which we feel that you may find interesting can be found down below as well. But please do hop along with everyone else to go and see what amazing projects they have done with the theme of black and gold. Look at that. That heat embossing, I think, is just stunning. It's just such a fun technique. After years of card making, it's still one which I love and fascinates me every single time. So there we have it. Thank you very much for watching, and we will be back with you again next month, which will be, well, January. So we'll be back with you next month for another fun project for the Stamp Around UK Video Hub. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again very soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.